So yesterday we have learned two new reasons. That is two new properties about geometry. Okay, and in this chapter we will learn many more references, many more reasons about circles. Okay, and the angles in the circles or the lengths of some lines or triangles or polygons in the circle. Okay. So the first reason we learned is about the relationship between a line from center to chord. Okay, a line from center to the chord. Okay, chord is a straight line where the two endpoints are the points on the circumference of the circle. Okay, and then if the line from center to chord is perpendicular to chord, if we have perpendicular, then we can conclude that the line bisects the chord. Okay, if we have perpendicular, then we can say that it bisects the chord. On the other hand, if the line from center bisects the chord, then we can conclude that that line from center is perpendicular to chord. Okay, so if we have perpendicular, then we have bisect. On the other hand, if we have bisect, then we have perpendicular. Okay, but both lines are the line from center, drawing from center, okay, to some point on the chord. 好，呢個就係我哋琴日學咗嘅兩個新嘅 reason 啦。咁都係咧即係要畫一條線係嚟自圓心，跟住咧畫去個圓形上面嘅其中一個 chord 咁樣樣嘅。如果我哋先有垂直嘅話咧，我哋就可以 conclude 到佢係平分條 chord 嘅，即係嗰條線係平分嘅 chord 嘅。如果我哋先有平分嘅 chord 嘅話咧，我就可以 conclude 到嗰條線咧係垂直個 chord 嘅，就係咁嘅意思。好啦，跟住咧仲有第三個嘅喎，其實 ，OK， 第三個咧，咁我去翻今日呢度先啦，就係咧，如果我哋今次唔知道嗰個嗰條線咧係咪嚟自 center 嘅 ，OK，so we still have a chord AB, still have a chord AB, and then this time. We draw the perpendicular bisector of chord. Okay, so that is like this. Like this. It is perpendicular to the chord. The green line is perpendicular to the chord, and at the same time, it bisects the chord. Okay, which means that M is the midpoint of the chord. Okay. Then this line, let me call this line L. Okay, L. So we have this. If L is the perpendicular bisector of chord AB, then what we can conclude is that L passes through the center of the circle. 嗱，呢一個 reason 咧，即係呢一個 property 啦，係比較少用啲嘅。OK， 一般嚟講咧，因為我哋都會有咗個 center 先嘅，係嘛？但係如果條題目裏邊喺幅圖裏邊一登場嘅時候係未有 center， 但係我哋又需要揾一啲同 center 有關嘅嘢，譬如係揾 diameter 啊。或者係揾 radius 嘅話咧，咁我哋就會有機會咧用呢一個 property 咧，去到話俾人聽，原來個 center 就係喺 L 呢條線上面嘅，好唔 OK？ 就係咁嘅意思啦。嗱個形容啊就係咁樣樣嘅。OK，if L is the perpendicular bisector of the chord AB, then L passes through the center of the circle, or we can say that the center of the circle lies on the line L. Okay, so these two sentences are exactly the same. OK， 得唔得？好啦，咁跟住個 reason 係咩咧？好簡單嘅啫，就係 perpendicular bisector of chord。呢度啊 ，perpendicular bisector of chord passes through center。Okay, so I don't like using this symbol to write perpendicular. Okay, perpendicular bisector of chord passes through center. Okay， 咁以後咧你要講呢一樣嘢出嚟嘅時候咧，你就只不過咧係俾以下呢個 reason 咧咁就得噶啦。OK， 就係呢一個啦，得唔得？嗱，點解我會話咧，即係唔係咁建議你寫呢一個 perpendicular bisector 用呢個符號啦？因為呢個符號咧，其實個意思就係一條線 is perpendicular to 另一條線，所以呢個符號其實代表啲咩咧？就係 is perpendicular to 咁解。OK， 咁就唔係 perpendicular 呢一個英文字咁嘅意思嚟嘅。OK， 咁不過咧，即係我哋唔使太過嚴謹嘅話咧，咁你寫呢一個符號嘅話咧，都冇問題嘅咁樣樣。OK， 好啦，我哋學咗3個 reason 喎，3個 reason。嗱，頭一兩個係由個圓心知道個圓心喺邊 ，OK， 跟住拉條線落去個 chord 嗰度。如果係垂直嘅就會平分，如果係平分嘅就會垂直。OK， 第3個 reason 咧就係我哋未知道個 centre 喺邊，但係有個 chord 喺度。如果我哋畫一條 perpendicular bisector of chord 嘅話咧，我哋就可以講到咧嗰個 perpendicular bisector 係會穿過個 centre 呢一樣嘢。OK， 呢一個咧一般嚟講，即係 theorem 3咧，一般嚟講唔係要嚟列式計數嘅，得唔得？唔係要嚟俾你列式計數嘅。點解？因為佢嘅 result 係咩嚟㗎？係一句 statement 嚟嘅，即係呢一條線係 passes through the centre O 咁嘅意思，或者 O lies on the line CM 呢個意思。OK， 係講緊一件事嘅，得唔得？好難會用呢一個 statement 咧去到列一條式嘅咁樣樣，係講咗一個條件出嚟嘅。所以咧，我哋會比較少用啲嘅咁樣樣，亦都比較難用啲嘅。OK， 前面嗰啲咧，我哋好明顯，即係頭先嗰兩個 reason 咧，嗰個 result 就係第一個咧，垂直嘅話就會平分，平分嘅話咧，即係話一個 line segment AM is equal to BM， 係嘛 ？is equal to BM。咁所以咧係一條線嘅長度等於另一條線嘅長度，係一個等式嚟嘅，係嘛？就可以俾我哋用嚟計到數嘅。咁但係咧，仲有就係 theorem 2咧，就係個 result 係咩啊？如果平分嘅話，個 result 就會係垂直，垂直都係用嚟計到數喎。點解啊？因為垂直嘅意思即係話咧，隻角 angle OMA or angle OMB is equal to 90 degrees。OK， 即係都係一條等式嚟嘅，係嘛？一隻 angle 等於90度咁樣樣，都係咧比較方便用嚟計到數嘅嘢嚟嘅。甚至乎如果佢有陣時啲即係最近嗰條題目嘅時候咧，會將呢啲 circle 嘅嘢咧擺埋喺個坐標上面嘅話咧，我哋就更加多嘢可以用啦。如果喺個坐標上面，我哋有兩條線係互相垂直嘅話咧，我哋會即刻諗起啲咩咧？就係個 M1 times M2 is equal to -1咁樣樣。OK， 所以呢兩個咧，即係 theorem 1同埋 theorem 2咧，係用得比較好啲嘅，即係比較容易用啲嘅。OK，theorem 3就係要講咗一個條件出嚟，即係個結果係一個條件嚟嘅，令到你再用呢個結果咧去引申第二啲嘅列第二啲嘅式出嚟咁樣樣。OK， 好，講咗咁多，我哋睇下啲數係點樣做先啊！我哋今次咧，即係頭呢一堂咧，主要都係用呢3個 reason 去做數先。呢幾個我都唔睇啦。好唔好咧？我都睇埋呢幾個。呢個冇喺 Mat App 裏邊嘅。OK， 但我喺度講一講咁解啫。Instant Drill Corner 10.2， 我想俾你睇啦，點樣去 present 呢啲嘅 solution。OK， 好多同學咧，以往咧好多同學咧，啲師姐都係嘅，就係咧，我其實明明計到喎，但係 long crack 咧，我唔識點寫喎，啲 geometry 嘅題目，唔知你有冇呢一個咁嘅煩惱喺度 ？OK， 但係咧我就會話俾你聽，你計到嘅話咧，就一定寫到出嚟㗎啦。OK， 點解啊？我睇到咯喎， Number one, we have chord AB. O is the center of the circle, and then OC is a line from center, and then line from center to chord. Okay, and it is given that this line is perpendicular to chord. Okay, 咁我哋會咁樣寫啦。Number one, we have OC, or because OC is perpendicular to AB. Okay, it is given, right? Therefore, we can say that C is the midpoint of AB, which means that AC is equal to BC. Okay, and this is using the reason of line from center perpendicular to chord bisects chord. Okay, do you remember this? Line from center perpendicular to chord bisects the chord. So AC is 5 cm and 5 cm, and then BC is x cm, which means that x is equal to 5. That is like this. 嗱呢度咧，我想 emphasize 一樣嘢，即係所有同學都聽住咯，所有同學都聽住啊！呢個咧都比較容易錯嘅 ，miss 咗或者係誤會咗一啲嘢嘅。OK， 就算以往叻啲嘅同學咧，都可能會未搞得清楚一樣嘢，就係喺邊行寫個 reason， 呢個係緊要嘅。邊一行寫個 reason 咧，就係嗰個 reason 嘅 result 出現嘅時候嘅嗰一行，你寫個 result 嗰一行就喺個 result 後邊寫個 reason。OK， 個 reason 唔係任何一行寫都得嘅喎，得唔得？即係邏輯上邊只係得嗰個 reason 裏邊俾你嘅 result 出現嘅嗰一行，你喺後邊寫個 reason 咧先至係啱嘅。即係話咧，譬如呢度嚟講嘅話咧，係咪呢條線垂直個 chord 嘅話，我哋得出個 result 就係嗰條線會 bisect the chord。個 result 係 bisect the chord， 即係話咧 OC 平分咗 AB， 平分 AB 嘅話咧，即係話 AC 等於 BC 啦，係嘛 ？OK， 呢一個咧就係我哋用呢一個 reason 嘅時候嘅 result 嚟嘅。所以呢一個 reason 咧一定要寫喺 AC 等於 BC 呢一行，得唔得？唔可以寫喺前邊，唔可以寫喺後邊嘅。OK， 我即係將來改你哋嘅功課嘅時候，我都會執埋呢一樣嘢嘅。OK， 咁但係咧當然，即係去到考試測驗嘅時候，係咪咁死咧？可唔可以褪落咗一行寫咧？就要睇下個改卷嘅老師啦。OK， 有一啲老師咧未必非常之嚴謹，但係佢理論上係有權咁嚴謹嘅。OK， 所以我呢度咧希望，如果你即係有心去到攞 level 5 or above 嘅同學嘅話咧，我哋記得要執埋呢一樣嘢。OK， 即係個 reason 應該喺邊個位嗰度出現咧咁樣樣。OK， 得唔得？好 ，Number 2， what do we have now? We have center O, and then OC is the line from center to a chord. But this time we know that C is the midpoint of chord. Okay, so which means that OC bisects the chord AB. So now we have bisect first. Then what we can result is perpendicular. Okay, so what shall we write here? Because AC is equal to BC, it is given. It means bisect, right? Then what result we can have is that OC is perpendicular to AB. Okay, and this is the result, which means that I need to write down a reason at this line. Okay, so that should be line joining center to midpoint of chord is perpendicular to chord. Okay, which means that angle OCA is equal to 90 degrees. Okay, which means that Y is 90 degrees, or you just say Y is equal to 90 degrees will be okay. Okay, and then number 3, CMD is a straight line. The radius of the circle is 3 cm, and I need to find the Z. Okay， 嗱呢度咧唔好理所當然當咗 CD 就係3 cm 乘以2， 因為佢冇俾到個 center 嚟嘅係嘛 ？Okay, we do not know the center, so we cannot confirm whether CD is a diameter or not at this stage. But what information do we have now? Is that CD is actually the perpendicular bisector of the chord AB. Because CD passes through the midpoint of the chord and CD is perpendicular to the chord. So CD is a perpendicular bisector of the chord. Okay, because CD is a perpendicular bisector of chord AB. Therefore, we can say that CD passes through the center of the circle. Okay, this is the result. The therefore statement is the result. Okay, so we write down the reason after the result. So that is the perpendicular bisector of chord passes through center. Okay, so CD passes through the center of the circle, which means that CD is the diameter. Okay, so that is CD is a diameter. Okay, which means that CD will be equal to 2 times the radius, and the radius is given to be 3 cm. So that should be equal to 6 cm. That is the answer. It's okay? 得唔得？嗱，我哋即係學嘅時候，我哋執正少少，一句 statement， 一句 statement。OK， 嗰啲 reason 係點樣樣？當然，去到你考試嘅時候，如果趕時間嘅時候，我哋先至係試下諗下點樣跳 step。OK， 得唔得？咁我會慢慢教你嘅，放心。OK， 咁但係咧，我哋學嘅時候咧，我哋清楚邊啲即係因為邊啲嘅句子而得出邊啲嘅結論咁樣樣。記住 geometry 唔係想考你圖案啊呢啲咁嘅嘢嘅 ，geometry 啲課咧係想考你嘅邏輯嘅，係想你學邏輯嘅嚴謹性嘅，得唔得 ？OK， 即係你擺啲乜嘢證據出嚟，會出啲乜嘢結論 ？OK， 呢啲先係 geometry 呢兩課咧係最想你學得識，最想 train 到你哋中學生要學嘅嘢嚟嘅。OK， 好 ，next。Example 1。好，我哋睇睇咯。Example 1 in figure CND is a straight line. Find the length of ON。好啦，咁我哋睇下有啲乜嘢喺手咯，係嘛 ？OK， we have CD is a chord, and then O is the center of the circle. And then ON is a line from center to the chord. And now we have perpendicular, right? We have perpendicular. So we say that because ON is perpendicular to CD, okay? The line from center to chord is perpendicular to chord. Then what result we can have is the bisect, okay? So N is the midpoint of CD, or CN is equal to ND. Okay, so the reason is line from center perpendicular to chord bisects chord. Okay, which means that these two line segments are equal, and they are both equal to 16/2 because the sum of them is equal to 16, right? And then each of them will be equal to 8 cm. Is that okay? So CN and ND are both equal to 8 cm. And the question asks us to find ON. Let me paste it here first. ON is this line. I want to find this line. And ON belongs to triangle OCN. And triangle OCN is a right-angled triangle. So if we have the first side, The second side has been found, and then we can use Pythagoras theorem to find the third side. Okay, c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. This is Pythagoras theorem. In this case, 10 is the c, and then a is on, b is 8. Okay, so let us write down the Pythagoras theorem. And then we have 100 is equal to on squared plus 64, and then on will be equal to square root of 36. That is 6 cm. That is like this. Is that okay? 好，陣間先俾你做啊，講埋 example 2先。Example 2. In the figure, the chords AB and PQ meet at M. Find theta. Okay, so we have chord AB and chord PQ, and this is midpoint. Midpoint M is the midpoint of AB. It's okay. O is the center of the circle, right? So now we have OM is a line from center to chord, and we have bisect first. Then what we can conclude is perpendicular. Okay, so we write this because AM is equal to MB. Okay, this is given. Therefore, we can say that OM is perpendicular to AB. Okay, and the reason is line joining center to midpoint of chord is perpendicular to chord. Okay, which means that angle OMB is equal to 90 degrees. Okay, because perpendicular means 90 degrees. Okay, but the question asks us to find theta. Can you see that theta is the exterior angle of triangle OMB? Okay, if it is the exterior angle of triangle, then it can be equal to the sum of the two interior angles. Okay, that is not adjacent to that exterior angle. Okay, which means that theta is equal to 90 degrees plus 30 degrees. Okay, and that is exterior angle of triangle. So finally, theta is equal to 120 degrees. Okay. And now, one more. Number 3, example 3. In the figure, AB and CD are two chords of the circle. Find the radius of the circle. Okay, so in this diagram, we do not have the center. Okay, we do not have center. Can you see this? Okay, but the question asks us to find the radius of the circle. Radius of the circle. So 嗱呢度咧打入細嘅聲落去。因為嗱呢招咧，其實大家可能慢慢諗嘅話咧，都可能會諗到嘅。即係我唔係話，即係我成日話咧，有啲題目咧，可能你未見過嘅話咧，就未必會自己諗到，都唔定。但呢題咧未去到咁難嘅，我覺得有啲好多同學咧慢慢諗嘅話咧，都會諗到點做嘅。OK， 咁但係咧成日都用呢一招嘅，所以呢粒星就係即係俾佢就係因為佢出現嘅次數咧都好多嘅呢一招陣間啊。OK， 咁啊打粒細啲嘅星去咁就得㗎啦。好啦，find the radius of a circle. So we have chord AB, and then CD is the perpendicular, because CD is perpendicular to AB, and CD pass through the midpoint of AB. This point is the midpoint. Let me call this M. Okay, M is the intersection point of AB and CD. Okay, so because CD is the perpendicular bisector of AB. Therefore, we can say that CD passes through the center of the circle. Okay, and the reason is that perpendicular bisector of chord passes through center. OK， 得唔得？好啦，即係 CD 呢條線咧係穿過 center 個點嘅，咁但係 CD 咧，因為 C 同埋 D 係喺個圓周上面噶嘛，即係 CD 畫出嚟嘅時候咧，係咪應該係就係個 diameter 嚟㗎 ？OK， so the center O is actually the midpoint of CD. Can you see this? Okay. And now we know that CD is equal to 8 cm. Okay, that is the diameter. Diameter is equal to 8 cm. So we can say that the radius, okay, so that is CD is a diameter. Okay, which means that radius is equal to CD over 2. That is 8 over 2. That is 4 cm. Okay, 4 cm. 唔好意思，我 get 錯咗一啲嘢，即係唔係嗱冇嘢嘅，呢度冇問題嘅，呢題唔使打星，唔使打星啊 ，sorry 啊，查咗粒星佢 ，OK， 唔好意思啊，我 get 錯咗係另一種題目嚟嘅添 ，OK， 冇咁難呢題一啲都唔難嘅，好唔 OK？ 咁啊請你查咗粒星佢啦，呢個。So radius is just equal to 4 cm. It's okay. Okay. Now I would like you to do the instant drill number 1, number 2, and number 3. Okay, number 1, 2, 3. So I just give you 3 minutes to do this. And please remember to upload your classwork to the Math app. 我開咗2個 classwork 嘅，咁而家應該係第一個 classwork 先嘅，即係琴日嗰個嚟嘅。 Okay, have we done? So let's check the answers. Instant rule number 1. So we have perpendicular. Then we can conclude that OK bisects XY. So that is XK equals YK. Both of them are equal to 12 cm. And then we have right angle triangle. Then we can use Pythagoras theorem to find OX, which is 13 cm. And then instant rule number 2, we have bisects. Then we can conclude that it is perpendicular. Okay, which means that OMQ, angle OMQ is 90 degrees. And the little a is the exterior angle of triangle OMQ, which means that it will be equal to sum of 90 degrees and 40 degrees. That is 130 degrees. Instant rule number 3. We do not know where the center is, okay? We cannot confirm whether CD is a diameter or not at the beginning, okay? But what we have is CD is perpendicular to AB, and we have to calculate that MB is also equal to 4 cm, which is equal to AM, okay? Which means that M is the midpoint of AB. So CD is at the same time perpendicular to AB, and CD also bisects AB, which means that CD is the perpendicular bisector of AB. Then we can conclude that it passes through the center with this reason, okay? Which means that CD is a diameter of the circle, and it is equal to 12 cm. So the radius is equal to half the diameter, which is 6 cm. Do you have any problems for this 3 little instant drill? 有冇同學跟唔到呢度 ？OK， 好，應該都冇啦，我估。Next， 好啦，睇一啲其他題目咯喎，可能混合嘅題目咯噃。Example 4。呢啲 so-called application problems. Okay. The figure shows a stone arch bridge. The curve APB represents the arch of the bridge in the shape of an arc with center O. Okay. An arc is just a part of a circle. Okay. If AB is 38 meters, PN is 7 meters. Find the radius. Okay. Find the radius. 好啦，呢一度咧。呢一度就係其實係我想你哋打星嘅地方嚟嘅，係啦，冇錯，即係頭先我先有一條咧無端打一粒星落去，然之後收翻咁樣。OK， 其實係呢一個位先至係得唔得？呢一個technique 係即係經常都會用嘅。OK， 我哋可以講到啲咩咧？而家我哋可以講到呢個 O 嗱 O 係個 centre， 即係佢其實咧嚟自一個 complete circle。OK。Arc AB is just a part of a complete circle, where the center of the circle is O. OK， 嗱呢個 circle 比較核突啲啦，但係唔緊要啊，俾啲想像力。OK， 所以咧O is the center of the circle, and then AB will be a chord of the circle. Then ON will be a line from center to chord. Now we have perpendicular. Okay, then we can conclude that it bisects the chord. Okay, which means that we will start like this. Because ON is perpendicular to AB. Therefore, we can say that AN is equal to NB. Okay, and the reason is line from center perpendicular to chord bisects chord. Okay, and because the line AB is 38 meters, which means that AN and NB are both equal to half of 38. That should be 38 over 2, that is 19 meters. Can you get this? Okay? 好啦，呢度都係未係打星嘅地方，打星就係以下呢一度啦。我哋咧要揾個 radius 喎 ，radius 係咪即係 OA 啊？咁我哋而家咧知道啲咩咧？知道呢個 AN 係19啦。OK， 但係咧知道咗一個騎呢位就係 PN 係等於7喎。OK， 點樣可以用咧？我哋就會 let 個 radius be r meters。OK， 即係咁啦。Let OA equals to r meters. OK， which means that OB and OP O boy and OP are also equal to R meters. Okay, then OP is also equal to R meters, right? Because both of them are radius. And ON will be equal to R minus 7. R minus 7 meters. Okay, so what do we have now? Is this ON is equal to R minus 7 meters. Okay, and then we have, can you see that we have successfully gathered the information to one single triangle, triangle AON. Okay, all the three links are with information now. Okay, and then we can set up an equation by using the Pythagoras theorem to involve the unknown R. Okay, and then we will be able to find the value of R. Okay, so that is like this: OA square is equal to ON square plus NA square. Okay, and this is Pythagoras theorem. And OA is R, so R square is equal to ON, that is R minus 7 square plus 19 square. Okay, 咁你可以直接寫呢一行都得嘅。And then we need to expand the bracket on the right hand side. It's R square minus 14R plus 49, and then plus 361. And then the R square and R square will be cancelled by each other. And then 14R will be moved to the left. What is on the right will be 400. Wait, am I correct? Yes, 410. 係咪爛數嚟㗎？個答案咁衰嘅。Let me check first. Yes, I'm not wrong. Okay, then R will be equal to 410 divided by 14. That will be 205 over 7. Okay, and you just use the calculator here. And that will be equal to 29.28571429. But the question asks you to correct to 2SF, which means that the radius is equal to 29 meters. Okay? 得唔得？咁你可以 skip 晒啲，即係 skip 咗中間嗰啲 calculation steps 佢都得嘅。Okay? All right, so now I would like you to do the instant drill number 4. Instant drill number 4. So give you 3 minutes.李日婷同埋劉海文係咪 upload 錯咗？應該係第二份，你哋數落去第二份 classwork 嚟嘅。 OK， 我見係啦，我見你 upload 翻啦。Okay, let's check the answers. So we have chord AB. So I just complete the circle. Complete the circle. Chord AB to be 12 meters, and then the height of the tunnel is 12 meters. So which will be like this. Okay, so this one is at this point is X. So let us call this point M. Okay,嗱呢一度咧，其實我自己覺得佢呢一題咧，可能問得唔係幾好嘅 ，OK， 出得唔係幾好嘅。咁究竟佢係即係嗰12米打洞嗰個12米，其實係啲咩嚟嘅咧？咁樣呢度咧，我哋諗一諗嘅話咧，就知道咧呢一個 XM 咧應該就係穿過圓心嘅一個嚟嘅 ，OK 得唔得？係 pass through the center O and will be perpendicular to the ground. Okay, because this is the height. This is the height of the tunnel. The height will be perpendicular to the horizontal ground. Okay, so we may assume that this 12 meters, this 12 meter will be perpendicular to this 12 meter. Okay, and it is in the middle line, not deviating to the left and not deviating to the right. So it will pass through the center of the circle. Okay, so now it is from center to the chord and it is perpendicular to chord. Okay, so it will automatically bisect the chord. And the question asks you to find the diameter of the circle. So normally, instead of finding the diameter of the circle directly, we will find the radius of the circle and then multiply it by 2. So OA is a radius of the circle, and let it to be r meters. Okay, and then this OX is also equal to r, right? And then OM will be 12 minus r. Minus r. Okay, and then AM and MB will be equal to each other, which means that each of them will be equal to 6 meters. Okay, so let us write them down first. Okay, because OM is perpendicular to AB, therefore we can say that AM is equal to MB. This is line from center perpendicular to chord bisects chord. Okay, and then each of them will be equal to 6 meters. Okay, and then we let R be the radius of the circle. That is, let OA equals R meters. Then we have another R. Then OX is also equal to R meters, which means that OM will be equal to 12 minus R meters. Okay, so we have successfully gathered the information into triangle OAM. And now we can set up an equation using the Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so that will be R squared is equal to 6 squared plus 12 minus R bracket square. And this is Pythagoras theorem. Okay, and then expanding bracket, R squared is equal to 36 plus 144 minus 24R plus R squared. Okay, the R squared are cancelled, and then the R term will be moved to the left, and right hand side will be 180. Okay, so R will be equal to 180 divided by 24, so that should be 7.5. Okay, so the radius is 7.5 meters, but the question asks us to find the diameter. So diameter is equal to 7.5 times 2. That should be 15, and the unit is meter. Is that okay? 好，你得唔得？好，得嘅話咧，我哋就再落去咯，要學多2個新嘅 reason 嘅。Okay. In the past few questions, so we are just handling one chord. Okay, in a circle, one chord. But in the following sections, we will consider 2 chords in the same circle at the same time. Okay, if the lengths of 2 chords are equal, then we will call them to be equal chords. So equal chords means the chords of equal lengths. Okay. So what will be the property about the equal chords? Will be like this. 好啦，嗱呢度咧有一個 concept 咧，咁我唔知你哋初中嘅時候咧學得好唔好啦。OK， 咁但係咧而家咧你記咗佢，即係可學就記得㗎啦呢一個，就係咧我打出嚟啊！我而家想揾咧就係 distance between a point and a line。OK， 嗱，如果兩點之間嘅 distance 嘅話咧，我哋就係講緊用條直線連埋嗰兩點之後，嗰條直線嘅長度就係兩點之間嘅 distance 啦。但係而家咧一點同埋一條線之間嘅 distance 係點樣定義嘅咧？嗱，一點同埋一條線即係咁樣樣啊！呢個新嘢嚟㗎咯噃。假設我有一條線，然之後咧有一個 point 喺度嘅，我想揾個 distance between this point and this line。咁究竟係講緊呢一個 distance 啊，呢一個 distance 啊，呢一個 distance 啊，好遠嘅 distance 啊，定係邊一個 distance 先至係 distance 咧 ？OK， 原來咧我哋永遠都係講緊咧個 shortest distance。OK， 呢一個 distance 係咪會長過呢一個？係咪會長過呢一個？幾時先至會係 shortest distance 咧？呢度啊，等我打翻落嚟先。Distance between a point and a line will be the shortest distance between the point and the line. OK， 講親嘅 distance 就係 shortest distance， 但係點樣先可以做到 shortest 呢樣嘢咧？原來就係等於個 perpendicular distance between the point and the line。 OK， 請你呢度咧 mark 低佢啦，得唔得？呢一個咧，因為咧我知道咧，你哋喺 Form 3嘅時候咧，有一課咧關於 3D problems 或者 3D figures 嗰課咧，我哋係 skip 咗嘅，得唔得？我哋冇學到嗰課嘅。咁但係當中有一啲嘅 concept 咧，我哋係喺高中裏邊咧係要學到嘅。呢一個係第一個 concept， 我哋 skip 咗嗰課，而我哋而家要補翻學嘅咁樣樣。OK，distance between a point and a line is equal to the shortest distance between the point and the line, and is the perpendicular distance between the point and the line, which means that we need to draw a line from this point perpendicular to this line first. Okay? For example, this O and this is AB. AB. Okay? And this one is the foot of perpendicular. Okay, OM. OM is perpendicular to AB. So the distance between, in this diagram, the distance between O and AB is equal to the perpendicular distance from O to AB. That is OM. 得唔得？一點同一條線之間的距離，就係嗰點同埋條線之間嘅最短嘅距離。OK， 最短可能嘅距離，亦即係個垂直距離，得唔得？咁呢個記住喎。好啦，咁我翻嚟書呢度啦。咁就係話咧，如果我哋今次咧有個 circle， 今次咧頭先講啦，係有兩個 chord 嘅，兩個 chord。如果今次我哋知道咧 chord AB is equal to chord CD， so what can we say? What is the result that we can say? Is that the distance between O and AB will be equal to the distance between O and CD. OK， 即係 O 同 chord AB 之間嘅距離，同埋 point O 同 chord CD 之間嘅距離係一樣嘅。OK， 咁我哋畫咗一個距離出嚟先。OK，point O distance between point O and chord AB will be OM because OM is the perpendicular distance, right? And then distance between point O and CD will be ON because ON is the perpendicular distance, right? Okay, so if chord AB is equal to chord CD, then the distance OM will be equal to distance ON. Okay, so that is like this. 點解會咁樣㗎？嗱，我希望大家學埋個 proof 嘅嚇。Okay. So let us just draw two chords, chord AB, and then we have chord CD, like this, chord AB and chord CD. And we have the center O, and we want to prove that OM and ON are equal. Where OM is perpendicular to AB and ON is perpendicular to CD. Okay, so if AB is equal to CD, okay, then OM is equal to ON. 呢個就係我哋想 prove 嘅嘢。好啦，但係點 prove 咧？咁其實講真，都係用 congruent triangles 嘅啫。OK， 都係用 congruent triangles。咁我哋咧就用呢一個 OBM and ODN。So in triangle OBM and triangle ODN. Okay, first, OB is equal to OD because both of them are the radii. You see this O boy is equal to O dot. Then I want to say that one thing is angle OMB is equal to angle OND because they are both equal to 90 degrees. Okay, this is given. Okay, I need one more length. Is that MB or BM? BM is equal to half of AB, right? Because OM is a line from center perpendicular to chord AB, which will bisect the chord AB. Okay, so it's line from center to perpendicular to chord, bisects chord. Okay, and DN is equal to half of CD. Okay, with the same reason. Okay, like this. But because AB is equal to CD, which means that BM is also equal to DN. Okay, and AB equals CD is given. Okay, so now we have three information in the two triangles. 咁我哋今次用邊一個 reason 咧，即係去 prove 佢嘅，去 conclude 呢兩個三角形 congruent。咁睇下我哋咧用咗啲咩咯？我哋係用咗radius 啦，係嘛？用咗呢個 MB 等於 ND 啦，亦都用咗咧呢隻90度等於呢隻90度，係嘛？咁呢個咧係咪就係 RHS 啊 ？Okay, so we can conclude that triangle OMB is congruent to triangle OND, and the reason is RHS. Okay, 好啦，我而家想證明啲咩㗎？就係 OM 等於 ON 啊嘛。Therefore, we can conclude that OM is equal to ON. Okay, this is corresponding sides of congruent triangles. Okay, this is the proof. The proof of this result. Okay, this is the theorem. But from now on, if you want to state the result of this theorem, you do not need to write down the proof. Okay, you just need to write down the reason. The reason is equal chords, equal distance from center. Okay, it's equal chords, equal distance from center. Okay, this equal distance means equal distance. Okay, just write down the reason here will be okay. 得唔得？好啦 ，chord 相等與圓心的距離就會相等。調翻轉得唔得？如果 OM 等於 ON 嘅話咧，我哋可唔可以講到個 chord 係相等咧？當然可以啦。Okay, the next theorem, theorem 5, will be like this. If this time we know the distance from center from two chords are equal, then we can conclude that these two chords are equal in length. Okay, so that will be like this. If OM is equal to ON, then we can conclude that the chord AB will be equal to the chord CD. OK， 咁呢個咧，我今次就 prove 俾你啦，基本上都係 congruent triangles 就可以 prove 到啦。咁跟住今次個 reason 咧就係 chords equal distance from center are equal。OK，chords equal distance from center are equal。點樣記啊？呢個咁鬼多 reason。OK。嗱呢一度咧，其實即係講緊咩咧？個 result 就係chords are equal. Can you see that? The chords are equal. Our result is chords are equal. But you will ask, what kind of chords are equal? Okay, if the chords are equal distance from center, then the chords are equal. So in one sentence, in one complete sentence, will be the chords equal distance from center are equal. Okay, so you will memorize the reason like this 得唔得 ？OK， 咁你記住喎，嗱呢度咧即係好容易撈亂嘅喎，你要背得即係清楚啲喎。呢個咧就係 equal chords，then we have equal distance from center。然之後咧呢一個咧就係 chords，if they are equal distance from center，then they are equal。就係咁嘅邏輯嘅 ，OK 得唔得？咁呢個啱啱調翻轉嘅啫 ，OK。Alright, so let us do read an example first. Read an example. Example 5. 今日慢，講得慢咗啲添，沉咗啲。So example 5. In the figure, OM is 3 cm, AB is equal to CD is equal to 8 cm. Find the length of ON. Okay, part A. ON is the perpendicular distance from center to chord CD. Okay, because we know that CD is equal to AB, right? It is given. Okay, given. Therefore, we can say that the distance of CD from center, that is ON, will be equal to the distance of AB from center, that is OM. Okay, but OM is equal to, wait, let me write down the reason first. Okay, this is, we have equal chords first, right? Equal chords, equal distance from center. Okay, like this. And then they are both equal to, wait. They're both equal to 3 cm. Okay, so that is the answer of part A. And part B, hence find the radius of the circle. Okay, we have AB and CD are both equal to 8 cm. Okay, so I want to find the radius, that is OA or OB or OC or OD. Okay, and we, well, because OM is perpendicular to AB, okay? OM is a line from center to chord. And now we have perpendicular. Then what we can conclude is that AM is equal to MB, right? This is the first reason. It's a line from center, perpendicular to chord, bisects chord. You see this? Okay, and they are both equal to half of 8 cm, so 8 over 2, so that is 4 cm. Okay, so AM is equal to 4 cm, OM is equal to 3 cm, and OA will be a radius, and we want to find the radius. We have R, we have 3, and we have 4. So we can find the radius by using Pythagoras theorem. Okay, that's OA squared is equal to 4 squared plus 3 squared. Okay, that is Pythagoras theorem. So OA is equal to 5 cm. And that is the radius. Radius is equal to 5 cm. Is that okay? You don't need the R actually. Just OA will be okay. And that. Okay, so maybe you do one more instant drill. Let's do instant drill number 5. Two minutes. Okay, let's check the answers. So in the figure, AB is equal to BC is equal to 16 cm. So they are equal chord. AB is a chord, BC is another chord, and they are both equal to 16 cm. So they are equal chord. Okay, and then OC is equal to 10 cm. The question asks to find ON. So now we have BC to be 16 cm. And BC is a chord. And we have the line ON, which is from center perpendicular to chord. So it will bisect the chord first, okay? So let us write this first. Because ON is perpendicular to BC. It is given. Therefore, we can say that BN is equal to NC, okay? This is perpendicular from center to chord bisects chord. Okay, so they are both equal to 16 over 2. That is 8 cm. Okay, and now we have found NC to be 8 cm. And the question asks us to find ON. This one. Okay, so in triangle ONC, we have 2 lengths. Then we can find the third one. Okay, so 10 squared is equal to ON squared plus 8 squared. This one is Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so ON can be found to be equal to 6 cm. That is the answer of part A. Okay, and then part B. Hence, find the length of OM. Okay, OM. Because that this one is easy. Because it is already given that AB, chord AB is equal to chord BC. Okay, so they are equal chord. So they will be equal distance from center. Okay, so because AB is equal to BC, it is given. Therefore, we can say that OM is equal to ON. Okay, OM is the perpendicular distance of AB from center. And then ON is the perpendicular distance of BC from center. Okay, so this is equal chord, equal distance from center. So they are both equal to 6 cm. Okay, so that is the answer of part B. Okay, is there any problems up to now? 好，咁可能唔夠時間講多一題㗎啦。咁我可能咧就會喺呢度 stop 咗先。咁記住啦，嗱我傾向呢一課開頭嘅時候咧，會講得比較慢少少嘅。咁如果你計得快嘅，都請你俾少少耐性睇一睇自己嗰啲 presentation 係個邏輯準唔準確嘅。我意思係，我哋呢一課頭先講咗啦，好想訓練你哋嘅邏輯嘅，即係要擺一啲證據，就會結論到乜嘢 result 出嚟咁樣。OK， 呢一樣嘢唔係話你自己諗到，佢係乜嘢，佢係幾多就寫幾多啦咁樣，唔係，係 presentation 係重要嘅呢兩課啊。OK， 所以咧大家千祈你會見到我咧成日都會寫一啲因為所以跟住 reason 咁樣。OK， 因為有呢個關係。所以我哋得到呢個關係 with 呢個 reason 嘅。我寫咗個關係出嚟之後，我先至將呢個關係咧化成嗰啲關係嘅數字，咁樣去計數嘅。OK， 得唔得？即係有邏輯關係呢部分啦。咁其實計數呢部分咧反而簡單啲嘅咁樣。OK， 得唔得？好，咁啊希望大家可以 enjoy 呢一課啊，我覺得呢課係好好玩嘅。Okay， so let's continue next week. That is the end of this lesson, and you may leave now. Goodbye.